Dear students, in the last video lecture, I discussed maximum power transfer theorem. In this video lecture, I am going to discuss Millman's theorem. So let us see the statement of Millman's theorem. It is saying that more than one voltage sources connected in parallel having their own internal impedances can be replaced by a single equivalent voltage source having a single equivalent impedance connected in series with it. What does it mean? They are saying if you are having more than one voltage sources having their internal impedances. So let us see. We are having this type of combinations. We are having this type of combinations. Suppose this is Z1, Z2 up to Zn. These are E1, E2 up to En. So we are having n number of practical voltage sources connected in parallel. So they are saying that this type of network can be replaced by a single impedance and a single voltage source. This is E, this is Z. Clear? So let us see how. Let us see how. So there is one expression of Millman's theorem. I am writing the expression. The expression for Millman's theorem is E is equal to I am writing in vector form E1 by Z1 plus E2 upon Z2 plus up to En divided by Zn divided by 1 upon Z1 plus 1 upon Z2 up to 1 upon Zn. Clear? Next, the value of Z. This is the value of E. Next, the value of Z will be, since when you deactivate all the independent sources, then you will see all the impedances are connected in parallel. So if all are connected in parallel, then for Z you write 1 by Z equal to 1 upon Z1 plus 1 upon Z2 up to 1 upon Zn. Clear? This is the way to replace the combination of parallel voltage sources into a single equivalent voltage source. So you can also say that this is nothing but the Thevenin's equivalent network. This is nothing but Thevenin's equivalent network. That means when 4 to 5 voltage sources are given you in parallel, they are having their own internal impedances and they are asking you to draw the Thevenin's network, or you have to find Thevenin's voltage. So you can directly apply Millman's theorem. Next, your question is, sir, what will be the conditions of the circuit before applying Millman's theorem? So conditions are same as that of Thevenin's theorem. The circuit must be linear, active and bilateral. Then only you can apply Millman's theorem. Clear? So next, let us see if you are having DC circuits. If we are having DC circuits, then what will happen? See here, if you are having a resistors, battery up to last resistor and a battery. Here it is R1, R2 up to Rn, E1, E2 up to En. So here also you will write E will be equal to E1 upon R1 plus E2 upon R2 up to En upon Rn divided by 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 up to 1 upon Rn. Similarly, you can write for resistance, it will be equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 up to 1 upon Rn. 1 upon Rn. Clear? Next, where is the use of this type of circuits? So this types of circuit is used in ECG machine. This type of circuit is there in ECG machine because they are taking the voltage at the different parts of the body and they are having the different resistances. So finally an average voltage is taken with the help of this expression, that means the expression of Millman's theorem. Clear? Now see one thing. If R1 is equal to R2 up to it is equal to Rn, if all the resistances are equal, then what will be the value of voltage? So here voltage will become E divided by R plus E1 by R plus E2 upon R plus up to En upon R divided by 1 upon R plus 1 upon R up to 1 upon R, that means n times. So here it will be E1 plus E2 plus En divided by n. That means if all the resistances are equal, then the terminal voltage, then the final Thevenin's voltage will be the average of all the voltage sources. Next, final voltage, Thevenin's voltage will be average of all the voltage sources. Clear? Next, let us see. You have to take care of direction of all the voltage sources, because see, one question was asked in GATE 2019 electrical engineering. GATE 19 electrical engineering, they are given four resistors and two voltage source are in positive direction, two voltage sources are in negative direction, and they have given one resistance R equal to 20 ohm. You have to find this current I. Here it is 50 ohm, 40 ohm, 25 ohm, it is 20 ohm. Here it is 200, 160 volt. Here it is 100. Here it is 80 volt. Here it is 80 volt. You have to find the value of current I. So let us see how to find. You see, four voltage sources are connected in parallel. So you will have to use Millman's theorem. To use Millman's theorem, what you will have to do? The first step is, here the load is connected and you have to find the current across this load. So what you will have to do? You will have to remove this load. We will have to open circuit the load, and then we will find Thevenin's voltage by using Millman's theorem. So when you find Thevenin's voltage, so here it will be how much? E will be equal to, here it is 200 divided by 50 plus 160 divided by 40 plus 100 divided by 25. Here see, now see, two voltages are in positive direction, so we have taken plus. Here you will have to take minus, because here the voltages are in negative, that means reverse. So minus 100 by 25 minus 80 upon 20 divided by 1 by 50 plus 1 by 40 plus 1 upon 25 plus 1 upon 20. So what will you see? 4, 4, 4, 4. So here 8 minus 8, it will be cancelled out. So E will be equal to 0. E will be equal to 0. If the value of E is equal to 0, see, if this E is equal to 0, this is R equivalent, then this current I will be equal to how much? This I will also be equal to 0. If Thevenin's voltage itself is 0, then current I will be equal to 0. So its answer is I equal to 0 ampere. Answer is equal to I equal to 0 ampere. Next, I am discussing one more trick to solve the questions of Millman's theorem in one step. So let us see how. Suppose we are having the circuit like this one. we are having the circuit like this one. This is 1 ohm, 1 ohm, 1, 1, 1, 2 volt, 2 volt, 2 volt. Clear? You have to find the current I. You have to find the value of current I. So let us see how to find. Here you see that voltage source is there, voltage source is there, but here voltage source is not present in the circuit, and here it is load resistance RL. So now somebody will ask you to open the load, then draw the Thevenin's equivalent. Don't worry, don't do that. What you have to do, you will have to assume a voltage source. You will have to assume a voltage source of 0 volt connected across this resistor. Here also you assume there is a voltage source of 0 volt. Here also you assume there is a voltage source of 0 volt. Now what will you do? If you apply Millman's theorem in the complete circuit, here you are not going to remove the load, and if you are going to apply Millman's theorem in the complete circuit, then the voltage you will get, that will be directly the terminal voltage across this resistor. That voltage will directly be the terminal voltage across this resistor. So let us see how to write the expression. You write the expression, you are getting directly the voltage V. So V will be equal to 2 by 1 plus 2 by 1 plus 0 by 1 plus 2 by 1 plus here it will be 0 by 1 divided by 1 by 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 1 by 1. There are 5 resistors connected in parallel. So here it will be 2, 2, 4, 2, 6. 6 divided by 5. V is equal to 6 divided by 5 volt. V is coming 6 divided by 5 volt. Clear? If V is equal to 6 by 5 volt, that means you got this voltage directly. So if it is equal to 6 by 5 volt, then current I will be equal to 6 by 5 divided by 1, that means 6 by 5 ampere. That means 6 by 5 ampere. Clear? So here you have no need to remove the source, remove the load. You can directly apply Millman's theorem. Just you have to assume the voltage across this resistor as 0 volt. Clear? So next I am giving you one more circuit and you have to write the answer directly. See the circuit. You are having the circuit like this one. You are having the circuit like this one, 1 ohm, 1, 1, 5 volt, 5 volt. This is also 5 volt. You have to find this current I. So now what will you do? Here you see that there is the practical source, there is another practical source, but here it is ideal source. So what is the job of ideal source? Its job is to maintain constant terminal voltage across the load. So it will maintain the voltage of 5 volt. So here you will write V equal to 5 volt. So current will be equal to 5 divided by 1, that means 5 ampere. You will directly write the current equal to 5 ampere. So if such kind of complex circuit is given to you and you will see that there is one voltage source, ideal voltage source is connected in the circuit, then you can directly write the answer. Clear? You can directly write the answer. Next, let us discuss one more problem asked in GATE 2003. Question is GATE 2003 Electrical Engineering. 110 at the angle 0 degree volt. Here it is 90 at the angle 0 degree volt, 6 ohm, J8 ohm, 6 ohm, J8 ohm. 6 ohm and J8 ohm. This is the variable load RL. They are asking you under maximum power transfer condition, the maximum power absorbed by RL is. Under maximum power transfer condition, the maximum power absorbed by RL is. You have to find maximum power absorbed by this load, PL max. You have to find PL max. PL max you have to find. So come to the solution. So let us see how you solve this question. First we will remove the load, because for applying maximum power transfer theorem you will have to find Thevenin's impedance and Thevenin's voltage. So how to find Thevenin's voltage? So if you redraw the circuit, so we can draw the circuit like this one. There is a voltage source. This is open circuited. This potential will be VTH. Next, you are having the circuit like this one. Clear? This is 6 J8 and 6. Similarly, J8 and 6. It is 110 at the angle 0 degree. Here 90 at the angle 0 degree. You see, you have to find Thevenin's voltage. Again here you see that two practical sources are connected in parallel. You can directly apply Millman's theorem. So now when you go to apply Millman's theorem, you see that these two impedances are equal. If these two impedances are equal, then what will be the value of terminal voltage? What will be the value of VTH? What will be the value of VTH? So here VTH will be how much? VTH will be nothing but average of these two voltages. VTH will be nothing but average of these two voltages. So here we will write simply VTH will be equal to 110 plus 90 divided by 2. It will be equal to 100 at the angle 0 degree volt. VTH is equal to 100 at the angle 0 degree volt. Next we have to find ZTH. So ZTH will be how much? Here we will sort these two terminals, these two sources. So two impedances are connected in parallel. So here it will be equal to equivalent 3 plus J4 ohm. If it is equal to 3 plus J4 ohm, then I am redrawing the circuit, that means the Thevenin circuit, and now I have to connect a load resistance RL. I have to connect a load resistance RL. Here it is 3 J4, here it is 100 at the angle 0 degree volt. So now what will be the value of RL? See, here load resistance is variable and source has an impedance. So in this case, for maximum power transfer, RL should be equal to how much? Magnitude of source impedance, that means R square plus X square. So here it will be RL will be equal to 5 ohm. RL will be equal to 5 ohm. So now we have to find maximum power transfer across this load resistance RL. So now we got the value of load resistance equal to 5 ohm for maximum transfer of power. So now under this condition we have to find power. So how will you find power? Power, to find the value of power, if you are able to find the value of current, so current square into R will be equal to power. So let us write the expression for current. So I am write current in vector form, which will be equal to 100 at the angle 0 degree divided by 3 plus J4 plus 3 plus J4 plus 5. That means 100 at the angle 0 degree divided by 8 plus J4. 100 at the angle 0 degree divided by 8 plus J4. Clear? So from here if you write the magnitude of current, it will be 100 divided by under root 8 square plus 4 square, 64 plus 16. So here it will be under root 80. Clear? Ampere. So if you write I square R, this will be equal to PL. So it will be equal to 100 square divided by 80 into 5 into 5. So from here its value will be 3.025. Sorry, its answer will be 625 watt. Its answer will be 625 watt. Its answer will be 625 watt. Clear? Its answer will be 625 watt. So next, let us discuss one more problem. Let us see one more problem. This was asked in GATE 98. Circuit is given like this. It is plus minus 10 volt, 6 ohm, 4 ohm, and this is plus minus 5 volt. You have to find here the Thevenin's voltage and Thevenin's resistance. So how will you find Thevenin's voltage? VTh or VAB. It will be equal to, again you have to apply Millman's theorem. Direction is minus plus positive, minus plus positive. So both the voltages will be added. So it will be equal to 10 by 6 plus 5 by 4 divided by 1 by 5 plus 1 by 4. So from here it will be 35 divided by 5. So it will be equal to 7 volt. Now RTh. For RTh it will be how much? These two resistors will be connected in parallel. So when these two resistors are connected in parallel, 6 into 4 divided by 6 plus 4, it will be equal to 2.4 ohm. It will be equal to 2.4 ohm. Clear? So you got the answer of the question asked in GATE 1998. Let's discuss one more problem. This was asked in GATE 2017 Electrical Engineering. The question is like this. Two ampere. We have to find maximum power transferred to R. We have to find maximum power transferred to the resistance R. So let us see how to find maximum power transferred to this resistance. How to find maximum power transferred to this resistance. To find maximum power transferred to this resistance, we will have to find Thevenin's equivalent of the circuit by opening this load. So let us open the load. And the potential of this point will be VTh. The potential of this point will be equal to VTh. Clear? This potential is 0 volt. This potential is 0 volt. So let us see how to solve this question. We have to find VTh. We can apply Kirchhoff's current law at this node. We will have to apply Kirchhoff's current law at this node. You might be surprised that I am applying KCL here, but we don't know the current through this source. So don't worry, you know everything. Let us see. There are two branches only. One branch, and from here, from this point you are getting two branches are coming out from this circuit. So you don't know current through this branch. But again, when currents are coming out from this branch, so now this current is being divided into two branches. So current coming out from this point is equal to current at this point. Clear? So we can find the current in these two branches. This is current 2 ampere. To find this current, if this potential is VTh And if you are having a battery connected like this, so there will be rise in potential of 6 volt. So here the potential will be VTH plus 6, VTH plus 6. So now you can write the current for this one. So if you are applying KCL, here it will be VTH minus 5, VTH minus 5 divided by 5 plus these two currents, VTH plus 6 by 5 plus 2 will be equal to 0. From here 2 VTH by 5 plus 1 plus 6 by 5 will be equal to 0. From here you write VTH will be equal to minus 5.5 volt. Now here Thevenin's voltage is coming negative. Don't confuse this with this one. Don't confuse. Next write for RTH. For RTH. So for RTH, if you draw the circuit, then you will have to deactivate the dependent independent sources. The circuit will be like this one. The circuit will be like this one. From here you have to write RTH. It is 5 ohm. This is also 5 ohm. So RTH will be equal to how much? 2.5 ohm. If RTH is equal to 2.5 ohm, then what will be the value of R? R will also be equal to RTH, that means 2.5 ohm for maximum transfer of power. For maximum transfer of power, R will be equal to 2.5 ohm. If R is equal to 2.5 ohm, then PL max, if you write PL max, it will be equal to VTH square divided by 4 RTH. So it is minus 5.5 whole square divided by 4 into 2.5. So it is coming 3.025 watt. This answer is coming 3.025 watt. Answer is coming 3.025 watt. Clear? So this was the question asked in GATE 2017. Next, let us discuss one more theorem, that is Talighan's theorem. Talighan's theorem. What is the statement of Talighan's theorem? Talighan's theorem, it states that in a circuit, the power, the sum of power delivered across all the elements is 0. They are saying in a circuit the sum of power delivered across all the elements is 0. What does it mean? They are saying if you are having the circuit like this one, suppose you are having the circuit like this, suppose this is AC circuit, R1, V1, R1. Suppose there are different resistors L1, C1, R2. Clear? There will be some voltages and there will be some currents across all the resistors. Suppose here this is V1 plus minus, here the current is I1. Similarly here the current will be I2, here it will be plus minus. Suppose here current will be minus plus voltage, the current is I3. Here the current will be I4, here the current will be I5 and voltage will be V5. So they are saying that sigma Vk Ik, sigma Vk Ik, k equal to 1 to n equal to 0. That means you find the voltage and current. You find the voltage and current. Clear? You find voltage and current, and you have to next you have to add. You have to multiply voltage and current to find the value of power. Then, if you add all the powers, then its sum will be equal to 0. But yes, you will have to take care of one thing in applying Millman's theorem. They are saying that sum of power delivered across all the elements will be 0. So either you will have to consider the elements are delivering the power, or you will have to consider elements are absorbing the power. Clear? That means here, if I have written minus plus like this one, so that means here it is delivering. Here also it will be minus plus, here also minus plus, here it will be minus plus. That means all the elements are assumed that they are delivering the power. Then we will calculate the voltages, then voltages and currents. Finally, you will get the expression for power. So let us solve one question. Next thing is one more important point. This theorem is applicable to any network. Any network means non-linear also. Non-linear also. Also note one more point. It is valid as long as KCL and KVL are valid in a network. It is valid as long as KCL and KVL are valid in a network. Clear? So next let us solve one problem based on this theorem. Suppose this is the circuit. Or suppose this is the part of circuit. Clear? This is the part of a circuit. Clear? So now here the currents are 5 ampere, here it is 2 ampere, here it is 1 ampere. So now you have to find the power of this 5 voltage source. You have to find the power of this battery. You have to check whether this battery is delivering the power or it is absorbing the power. So let us see how to check. Look at this one. This is 5 ampere, this is 1 ampere, this is 2 ampere. So total current through this battery will be how much? This current 5 plus 1 plus 2, that means 8 ampere. The total current will be 8 ampere. Now you see for 8 ampere current is entering through the positive terminal of this battery. So if the current is entering through positive terminal of this battery, it means battery is taking the power, battery is absorbing the power, battery is being charged here. Battery is in charging mode. So if it is in charging mode, that means power absorbed. Power is being absorbed by the battery, and this power is 5 into 8. So it is equal to 40 watt. 40 watt. They are absorbing the power of 40 watt. Clear? So this is all about network theorem. Today I have finished the first unit, that is network theorem. So we discussed different types of problems asked in GATE examinations. in electrical branch, electronics branch and instrumentation branches. So now if you practice all these questions and if you have attended all these lectures, then you can easily solve the questions that will be asked in GATE 2022 from this chapter, network theorem. Now from next class we'll start another unit, that is transients.